Okay, looking at a Cartesian coordinate system, this graph, we can see that our x is the horizontal axis and the y is the vertical axis. Each square in here is called a quadrant. So quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. And you can see how these quadrants, if you have a point, say here, this would be the point 7, because I went over to the right 7 units, and then up 4. So notice that both the x and the y are positive. Where if you're in quadrant 2, now you're going to have a negative x. Oops. So let's say we have negative 4, comma 2. So the x is negative, but the y is positive. Quadrant 3, we can see that both x and y would be negative. So say that's what at negative 3, negative 3. And then finally, quadrant 4, our x value would be positive, where now our y value would be negative. So that's important that, one, you understand how to plot points based on the very first value is the x, the second value is the y. If you go to the right with the x, that's positive. If you go to the left, that's negative. If you go up on y, that's positive. If you go down, that's negative. All right, so then also what we like to talk about is what's called X and Y intercepts. So just in general, intercepts. You can hear me clicking really fast undoing. And so an intercept is where you actually cross an axis. So each one of these points would be called intercepts. And in this case, if I'm on the x-axis, this would be my x-intercept. If I'm on the y-axis, then this would be my y-intercept. Why these are important is because if you're on the x-intercept, notice you didn't go up or down, so your y is 0. If you're on the y-intercept, notice you didn't go left or right, so your x equals 0. So just some good starting definitions to understand quadrants in the graph, how to actually plot points, and then to understand intercepts.